students. We were discussing chapter number 5, the principle of inheritance and the variation. In this chapter till now we have studied the Mendel's monohybrid experiment. We have also discussed in the last session Mendel's dihybrid experiment. We have also discussed the incomplete dominance and the codominance. In monohybrid experiment, the F2 generation, the phenotypic ratio is 3:1 and the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. In a dihybrid experiment, the phenotypic ratio in the F2 generation is 9:3:3:1. And in incomplete dominance, the phenotypic and genotypic both ratio is 1:2:1. That already we have learned it. Okay. Now today we will discuss whether this Mendel's experiment is correct in all the circumstances or not. Okay. So that we are going to learn today. Okay. So first of all, I want to show you that I just revised the dihybrid experiment what we have performed, and I will show you the in brief result of it. So in the dihybrid experiment, two characters are taken. That is, one is round and yellow seed that is crossed with wrinkle and the green. The round is the dominant over the wrinkled surface and the yellow color is dominant over the green surface. This is the parent generation what we took. Now due to that, in the F1 generation, which kind of the plant we obtain? Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Okay. Now this F1 generation is self-crossed. It is self-crossed with capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Means here what we have done? We have done a self-cross. And as a result of self-cross, what is going to be produced? There are 4 different types of the products are going to be produced in the F2 generation. Here the products which are going to be produced are round and yellow. Second is round and green. Third one is wrinkled and yellow. And the fourth one is wrinkled and green. This we have obtained in the ratio of 9:3:3:1. Okay, this is a ratio what we have obtained in the dihybrid experiment. This is a phenotypic ratio what we have obtained in the F2 generation. Okay, clear? So this is what we have obtained. This is just a brief revision of a dihybrid experiment. Now we want to say that based on this monohybrid experiment and the dihybrid experiment, the Mendel has proposed 3 laws. Law of dominance, law of segregation and law of independent assortment. These are the 3 laws have been proposed by him. Okay. Even we have also learned the taste cross. In the taste cross, we are crossing it with a recessive characters. Okay. We are crossing it with a homozygous recessive characters, and then we are going to observe what is the ratio that is going to be obtained. Okay. That we have already discussed. Now, today we have to see that why the Mendel works has not been published this much. There are few limitations. Due to that, the Mendel work has not been published in a large proportion. What are the reasons? The first reason is that at the time when the Mendel has published its result, it was the 1865. The Mendel has done his experiment in 1865. But till the 1900, the majority of the people in the world doesn't know about the Mendel's experiment and its a conclusion. Okay, they don't know the importance of this. What are the reasons that Mendel remains unrecognized between these 2 periods? So the first reason is that at that time, that during 1865, the communication was not easy. This is one of the reasons. Communication was not easy. Okay, at that time there is no telephone, no internet, no WhatsApp and no Facebook, so the communication was not easy, and that's why the Mendel experiment that remains unrecognized. Second reason why the Mendel experiment that remains unrecognized. Mendel has found that his concept is based on the factors. What we are currently calling it as a genes. Mendel called it as a factors. Mendel has given a concept of a factors, and these factors, they are stable and heritable. Okay, so and these stable and heritable units in a living organism, they control the different traits, or you can say a trait means a characters. The different characters are going to be controlled by these factors or the genes. Okay, they are the stable and the heritable units that was proposed by the Mendel. Okay, but his peer, his colleague, they do not believe him. Okay, they do not believe in the concept of factor. Clear? This is the second reason why the Mendel experiment remains unrecognized for the number of periods. Okay, so he has proposed these factors. Third reason why the Mendel work has not been recognized. The third reason is that Mendel has utilized, or he has used, a mathematics in biology, like we have also used, like a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. Even he has also done the statistical analysis. This statistical analysis or the application of mathematics in the biology, that was new at that time, and that's why it was not understood by the many people and the scientists, and even it is not accepted by the scientists. They are saying that this is not possible, you cannot apply this mathematics into a biology. There is a no correlation. Such kind of the comment he received. Okay, but that means the use of mathematics and the statistics in the biology, that was not accepted by his peers or his colleagues and the scientists. So this is the third reason why the Mendel work remains unrecognized. The fourth, the major reason why the Mendel work remains unrecognized. He said that he given the concept, there is a something, he called it name as factor, and that is transferring from a parent to a next generations. Okay, and they remains a stable, heritable, and they control the different characteristic. That the Mendel has said like this, but he is not able to present his proof. Why his colleagues and scientists are not believing him? Because he is not able to present or show the proof of factors. Okay, at that time there is no advancement in the science, there is no microscope, even we cannot able to see the DNA that is present in the nucleus and the chromosome that is present in it. We are not able to observe it because at that time the microscope was not there. Okay, such high resolution microscopes were not there, and so that's why he is not able to present his proof. Okay, and that's why the Mendel work remains unrecognized. So why the Mendel work remains unrecognized? Because the communication was not easy at the time when the Mendel discovered it. Mendel discovered the factors. Mendel called it as a stable and the heritable unit that is transferring from a parent to a next generations, and they control the different characteristics. This theory was not accepted by his colleagues and the scientists. Third, Mendel has first time used the mathematics and statistics in a biology, but that was not accepted by the colleagues and the scientists. Even that was a new, so it was difficult to understand at that time. Fourth, he is not able to show the proof, the factors they are going to be transferred from parent to offspring. He is not able to present the proof, and that's why the Mendel work remains unrecognized for a number of years. Okay, that remains unrecognized. But in 1900, the other scientist, you have to remember the name of this scientist. Okay, these three scientists, they done a work independently. First is D. Rice, second one is Correns, and the third one is von Teschmark. These are the three scientists. Remember, in the 1900, D. Rice, Correns, and the von Teschmark, they have independently rediscovered the Mendel's principle. Okay, whatever the Mendel has suggested, these three scientists has independently rediscovered, and after that the Mendel contribution or Mendel recognition has been you can say based evaluated. Okay, even in the year 1902 there are two scientists. First is Walter Saturn and the second one is Theodore Boveri. They have recognized a role of chromosome. They are able to observe the role of chromosome, and they found that the role of chromosome is comparable with the role of a gene, what the Mendel was calling it as a factors. Okay, that was discovered by this Walter Saturn and the Theodore Boveri. The science has been advanced during this period. We are able to discover the microscope, and due to a discovery of a microscope, this chromosome can be observed by this scientist Walter Saturn and the Theodore Boveri. They have observed it, and during the observations they found that the role of chromosome and the role of gene, they are comparable. It was found. So this is the reason why this is an advancement what happens in the case of a science. So D. Wrights, Coren, one Teschmarks, they have rediscovered independently the Mendel's principle. Then in 1902, the Walter Saturn and the Theodore Boveri, they have said that the chromosomes have a comparative role with the genes, and they are also going to be transferred from a parent to a next generation. And this is possible because of advancement of a microscopy. Now we are able to see this microscope under, we are able to see this chromosome under the microscope. And now we can also see that we are able to present the proof there is something that is going to be transferred to a next generation that was established by this scientist. Okay, so this is what the advancement occurs. Okay, next thing is that after this, the many scientists, specifically at T.H. Morgan, they have started to see that whether we are able to get the same result as the Mendel has performed. Okay, after there is a recognition of Mendel's experiment. Now people come to know that the Mendel is saying something right. Okay, after that what happens, the different scientists are trying whether we are also getting the same result as the Mendel has done. So there is a one scientist, what we call it as T.H. Morgan. The T.H. Morgan has also started the experiment. He has also performed the dihybrid experiment. Means the experiment with two character or inheritance of two genes. He has started to perform this. Okay, and sometimes he gets the same result as the Mendel, but many other times he is not able to get the result. And now there is a question comes, why this person is not getting the same result as the Mendel has done? Okay, and the new principle that comes into existence, and that is called as linkage and recombination. Linkage and recombination. This is the new concept that comes. Okay, you know that the Mendel has said that there is an independent assortment of a character. After the dihybrid experiment, the Mendel has proposed a law called as law of independent assortment. Means it is not necessary that with a round only yellow color goes. With a round even the green color can also go. Similarly, with a wrinkle the green color only goes. That is not the only possibility. With a wrinkle seed the yellow color can also go. That means the independent assortment can occur. Independent. But sometimes it follows the rule and sometimes it doesn't follow the rule. And when we try to find out why it is happening, a new concept that comes, what we call it as linkage and recombination. We will learn this linkage and recombination which was proposed by the Morgan in the next session. In the next session we will learn this. Okay, with the help of an example of a fruit fly, that is Drosophila melanogaster. The Morgan has studied this dihybrid experiment in the Drosophila melanogaster. It is a very long topic, so that we will discuss in the next session. In the meantime, I will also tell you the test cross in a dihybrid experiment. We have also performed the taste cross in monohybrid experiment. Now we will do the taste cross in a dihybrid experiment. Okay? So see, this is round and yellow. This is wrinkle and the green. Okay? You know that when in the F1 generation they are self-crossed, you get a ratio in the F2 generation 9:3:3:3:1. But when it is taste crossed, what is the ratio that we obtain? Let us see. So this is the parent generation. This is the F1 generation. Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. This is the F1 generation. Okay? This is obtained by crossing between these two. Now according to Mendel, what we are doing, according to Mendel, I am saying first. According to Mendel, we are doing like this. Capital R, capital Y, small y. Means we are doing a self-crossing, self-cross. Similar generation is crossed. But now here we are performing a taste cross, not a self-cross. Here we are performing the taste cross. So in the taste cross, you know that we have to cross it with homozygous recessive. Homozygous recessive means this is a recessive character, small r, small y, small y. Okay? Instead of self cross, we are doing a taste cross. Okay? So now see, what are the gametes are going to be produced, and then we will see the results in the F2 generation. The gametes of this are, which are the gametes? You know how to form a gamete. Capital R, capital Y. So first gamete is capital R, capital Y. Second, capital R, small y. Capital R, small y. Next, small r, capital Y. Small r, capital Y. This small r and capital Y. The fourth gamete is small r, small y. Okay, so these are the four gametes that is crossed with here. Okay, so make a gamete. Small r, small y first. Even the second one is also small r, small y. Third one is small r, small y. The fourth one is small r, small y. Clear? Here you can see that in the taste cross, in a homozygous recessive plant, you are obtaining the same type of a gamete. Okay, it is as it is homozygous recessive, you obtain the all similar gametes. So instead of writing the 4 times, okay, I am just writing the 1 time because they all are same. If I multiply the same thing to all, I am getting the same result. So to make it simpler, I am just using only 1 because we are getting the same result with these. Now we have to cross with it. Cross with it. Clear? So the first possibility, capital R, capital Y, small r, small y. I am writing over here. So what we obtain in the first generation? Second generation. There is a crossing between these two. Okay? Here I am writing its result. So what is its result? Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Clear? This is one. Now we are crossing this to this. Yes, this. So now we are putting capital R, small y, small y, small y, small y. Now I am doing like this. Small r, capital Y, small y. Small r, capital Y, small y. This is the third possibility. Fourth possibility like this. Small r, small y, small y. So this is the fourth possibility. Small r, small y, small y. Such kind of the genotype we obtain in the taste cross in the F2 generation. Now right now it's phenotype. What is the phenotypic characteristic of it? This is the dominant one, so obviously dominant will express. So this is a round and this is yellow. Here in this, the dominant is round, so the round will express round, and this one is a no dominant, so the recessive will express. So that is a round and green. Here no dominant, so the recessive will express. So which is a recessive? Small r means wrinkled. Here there is a presence of dominant, capital Y, so it is yellow. Here no dominant, here also no dominant, so small r, both are small r, that means wrinkled and the green. Okay, so they are obtained in the ratio of 1:1:1:1. Which ratio is obtained? 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. That is the ratio that is obtained in the F2 generation when test cross has been performed. What is performed? Test cross. When test cross has been performed, the ratio obtained in the F2 generation in dihybrid experiment is 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. Remember. And if self cross is performed, self cross, what the Mendel has done, okay, in the self cross the ratio is, the phenotype remains same but the ratio gets changed. It becomes 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. Okay, so this is the difference between a self cross and the test cross, okay, in the dihybrid experiment. Okay, even in monohybrid experiment, you know that in a monohybrid experiment, in a self cross in F1 generation you get a ratio 3 is to 1. In the F2 generation you get a ratio 3 is to 1. But in a test cross you get a ratio of 1 is to 1. Okay, clear? That is the ratio that is going to be obtained. Okay, so this is about the test cross in a dihybrid experiment. So you have to learn it thoroughly. Next time we try to see that the Mendel got the ratio 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. Okay, in his dihybrid experiment in F2 generation, whether all scientists are getting this. I have already told you all the scientists are not getting the same type of a result. And the Morgan has studied and he found the something what we call it as linkage and recombination. So we will learn this linkage and the recombination what the Morgan has performed in a fruit fly or the Drosophila melanogaster next time. Okay, so we will learn this next time. Till then students, learn this properly. Keep learning, keep watching, like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.